Thursday, November the 13th. A little bit of a different look for us today because it's what we've come to know and love as Sprint Day. And yet you don't see some of the familiar tropes of a sprint day. And let me explain to you, it's not a question of why that is, but more of like how you should be thinking about it regardless, right? We expect that the sprint stimulus that we train for, anaerobic training, is going to have uses for you in like real life. You know, not only do you have the physiological change of expanding your anaerobic capacity, but also there's brain gains to that too. It's not a muscle memory thing. It's more of a willpower thing. It's more of a, like remembering a time you needed to do that and then applying that same feeling or logic to a workout that doesn't have the same exact stimulus. Case in point, things like, hey, we're gonna do a carry for max effort reps. What if I then put a carry that has a defined number of reps? Weren't you getting more carries than that the last time you did a max effort version of it? And don't you know and learned from yourself the last time you did a Thursday workout that you can in fact go for, say, 60 meters of a farmer carry without having to put that thing down? Now, the carry might not be the best explanation of what I'm trying to say, but certainly the bike is. We've given you a bike calorie objective today, 20 calories for the men, 15 calories for the ladies. That's going to be on the uncomfortable side of a sprint. And what I do know is that we've done so much biking, particularly on sprint days, that you should be able to look at that and go, I know what it's going to take for me to get 20 done or 15 done as quickly as I can, right? The one thing we can abide when we put that kind of volume on a sprint day is at any point you taking your foot off the gas. At any point, especially, goodness gracious, I don't coach on Thursday, but if I saw anybody biking with their hands on their head that I sometimes see, oh, I can't have it. Can't have it. The point is, it may not be the fastest sprint you've ever done, 20 or 15 calories. But by now, you've developed your anaerobic capacity, but also you've seen or you've needed to do about that much in different venues, in different contexts, such that you know what it's going to take to keep going. And that's the point of today's workout in general. So today is 4 rounds of that bike sprint, 24 dumbbell snatches. Those are alternating, and it's 12 per side. When I say 24, what I really, and I combine that volume with the movement itself, dumbbell snatches, what we want is unbrokenness there. And whatever loading of a dumbbell snatch is gonna get you that. Because 24, you know, I'm sure there's a couple of numbers that we could have come up with, but 24 is supposed to be like a just uncomfortable enough that going unbroken is gonna be like, it's gonna stretch you thin a little bit, right? And then the same thing is going to be true for the farmer carry. Ideally, you're definitely using a pair for the farmer carry, whether it's kettlebells or you're using the pair that goes with the dumbbell snatch, the dumbbell you were using for the snatch. Doesn't really matter so much as it's a loading that you're going to definitely do 60 meters unbroken. So up and back 3 times if it's like it's probably going to be cold and we're inside. So all 3 of today's movements are meant to be like as quickly as you can. And whereas on a normal Thursday, or a lot of times when we're training the anaerobic stimulus, we give you a rest period so you can recover and then do it again. What I'm asking, and the way in which these movements were combined so that the one doesn't impact the next one, what I'm asking for is that normal amount of rest, not normal amount of rest, but any amount of rest that you would feel like you needed, like you either need or that you are being given on a day like this, is you're gonna have to come by it on your own. Not in the middle of the movement though. The way in which you're gonna get that recovery today is, 1, the farmer carries might do it. You might be able to breathe a little bit. You most certainly will be able to breathe more on a farmer carry than you were on last week's front rack carry. But the other time in which you'll get a break is transitioning from one movement to the next. So take advantage of that. We really want this to feel like, man, yeah, this is a lot to ask for one anaerobic day workout, but I want each movement to be your best, most unbroken version of that movement. That's hard to define on the assault bike, but just know I kind of defined it earlier. If it looks like you're slowing down, or you take your hands off the pedal, or the whatever you call the arm things, then we'll know that you're not totally getting the intended stimulus of this workout. Now, another thing, logistics wise, would have made sense to maybe try to make this a 1-to-1 rest type of workout, but it's not what we wanted to do today. So we have a bike involved on a day where there's no clear or obvious way to share that bike with someone else. And we only have 6 bikes, but we want more than 6 people to come to a class. This is absolutely the kind of day where you and someone of similar experience level to you could say, okay, we're both going to share this bike, but I'm going to start on the farmer carry and work backwards, and you're going to start on the bike and work forwards, and then we will hopefully keep missing each other on the bike. That generally should work. Another way to think of it is I start on the bike, you are sharing a bike with me. This is only about, this is a less than 20-minute workout. So I can start, and then you can start a little bit after I'm off the bike, and hopefully we don't run into each other. If I'm sharing the bike with someone, and at some point we crisscross to the effect that you're using the bike when I need it, all I'm gonna do is start the next thing. Most likely that's going to be the dumbbell snatches. And when you're done, I'll put the dumbbell down, I'll get on the bike. We're not going to overthink the order of things. That's not the important part of this workout. The important part is the overall volume of the stuff, and the fact that you're going to never put the thing down, and you're going to work as fast as you can. My time was 13:54, I think. 13:54, I believe, was my time, with a pair of 50s for the carry. All right, guys, enjoy.